start streaming, start recording. I can't believe he's running late. What kind of German person is this? I'm so sorry. Come on, I'm 1 minute. 1 minute, okay? I'm also a student, so don't I get like...
Also, it's my fault.
Cum tempore anyways. By the way, I was perfectly on time. And then my girlfriend found a very nice eBay offer that she wanted to show me. And I was like, ooh, you know, eBay. Because as you know, I am currently on withdrawal from eBay. Because I couldn't stop looking shit up. So hearing those words, I had to look, okay? I had to look. Alright. We gather around once more to paint the Rootmire Creed. Yeah. And I'm quite excited to finally paint something again. It's all cool, man, just getting my stuff in order to paint as well. Hey, nice Duran. Alright. Hell yeah. Can paint along then. But yeah. With the Rootmire Creed, as you guys know, maybe I should get some more light actually. Hang on. How's this? Hey, a lot better. Alright. As you guys might know, with the Rootmire Creed, that's my warband. It's my warband of choice for the Games Workshop spin-off game Warcry. And we actually did 2 previous streams where we painted up these great guys right here. So this guy in a more, in a lighter kind of tone, and this guy in a warmer tone, and this guy in a colder tone. Both of which I really like, but I kind of forgot to jot down which paints we used, and even after rewatching the VODs of those streams, I'm still not quite sure. So I thought, okay, so that's why I haven't, painted them yet. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'll paint one more guy on stream, and that time I'll actually note down the paints that I use and the order in which I use them, and if I mix them and stuff. So that when the chat is over, I can finally start the proper video. My god. Although by the slow pace that this is all going, I'm already rather skeptical about my second October video. But, that's a concern for later. Maybe I'll release that in November then. Which would still be kind of fitting the whole vibe that I'm going with that video. So, if you guys are wondering what's up with the green screen, I don't quite know myself. Don't actually have any plans for that. But we'll just figure that one out as well as we go. Alright, we'll start off with some... So our base layer is Caliban green. After that, a straight layer of Castellan green. And now I want to actually have a mixture of Castellan green and Orc flesh. All the while we of course painted the skin with, I think, Cadian flesh tone? Yeah, Cadian flesh tone. Just to get some more definition for the miniature right away. Having definition, even like in these early stages, is actually like not the worst thing in the world. And also not, like, it's not too early to do this, because it can help to establish the miniature right away. And make the whole process a lot easier. Because you yourself can navigate the silhouette better. Alright. Duran, by the way, what are you painting again? To be honest, I forgot. Okay, that's way too watery. God damn. The thing is, this effect that we're doing right now is extremely subtle. Holy moly. Yet at the same time, I'm kinda after that. Because I usually do my contrasts so stark and the paint so thick that in the end, it just tends to look rather amateurish. And it's not quite the level that I want to see for myself. Of course, the thing is a little bit, hey, Go For Painting says, have a great paint job. Hey, you too, man. Glad to see you still sticking around. Holy shit. The ghost of Brink of Art. We have a Blood Bowl tournament coming up in Sweden, where we can use secret teams, and I'm kit bashing a Vampire Ghost team with animated hulks that have shark heads, zombies with tentacles, and crab hands and sirens. God damn, that sounds awesome, dude. Vampire Curse has such a great aesthetic, best of luck with that. I'd love to see some pictures if you, like, when you have them. That's awesome, dude. Good luck with that. And Legendary Decana says howdy. Hi, man. How was the holiday? Hope everything went nice in Greece. You guys see this? Yeah. Again, it's so far very subtle, but I think it will pay off once we put down the other paints for contrast, like the even lighter green tones. Although it definitely doesn't need to be this watery, I definitely overdid it. So, multiple times the streams I will be shortly looking at my phone, like for short moments of times, to note down which paints I used, and especially if I mixed something up and stuff. And for what, of course, as well. So that I have my painting recipe done for when I paint the rest of these guys. Alright, yeah, but now I don't really feel like painting the models I bought. Well, a holiday will do that too, yeah, won't it? But yeah, glad to see that at least the holiday went well. Duran Björnsson says, I'm considering putting up an Instagram account too for my minis. We'll drop a link when I'm done with kit bashing these. Oh, that sounds great, man. I myself have become a little bit too lazy keeping up with Instagram, because it's become just such a hassle for me, because I can only, like, it only works on certain devices of mine. Other devices get kicked out immediately from the account, and then the account gets suspended. Then I have to run after that. It's a little bit weird with me. But yeah. Great, you know, still cool for you, I guess. Hope to see some nice pictures then. And if you want to provide the link, you know, you unfortunately gotta do it by mail. Yes. Or you know, just send me a request via Instagram. I'll be sure to shout you out. Alright. Speaking of, I'll grab my phone real quick and note the colors that I used. So, base Caliban green, then Castellan green, then Cadian flesh tone for the flesh. Oop. And then Castellan green with Orc flesh. And after that's dry, we'll go right in with the Orc flesh to do some more highlights. And after that, I think some Orc flesh again, but that time with some Bone, I think. Yeah. If my voice sounds a little weird, I don't actually know why. My girlfriend and I are suspecting that we're currently on the brink of getting sick. So, no more brink of art, only more brink of sickness. And I know you're usually, you're quite used to seeing sick paint jobs from me. But no, I might actually be getting sick. And that's also why I usually don't post streaming schedules. Because usually stuff just comes up and then I have to, if I have to go after that again and tell you guys that the stream is not happening, then I might as well just not tell you in the first place and keep it a little bit of a surprise. Speaking of surprises, today is 30 minutes earlier than usual. Okay, not that my usual streams are on time, but if they were on time, we'd be 30 minutes earlier than usual. And for the foreseeable future, that will actually stick this way. Because that way I can, stream it for a little bit longer, so the stream overall will be a little bit longer. People have more time to check in during the workday, especially from Europe. And when the stream is done, I still have enough time to prepare dinner for my girlfriend before she comes home. Because, opposed to me, she's actually doing some productive stuff for society. That sounds a little bit weird. She's just, a year at university just started, and I wanted to make sure that our timetables are in order. The Celt 76 says, "Hello, just got here. I'm suspecting that you are ICELT from usual." Was the ad showing again? YouTube sorted this before? The ad? What do you mean, the ad? Oh, that, I don't know. I've also recently found a VTuber of all things, of all persons, who told me how I could finally properly fix my chat box so it won't be all willy-nilly very soon over there, because the way that it is displayed is kinda bad, it's kinda weird. Yeah, yes, I Celt. Yeah, or I Celt. I was never sure how to pronounce that. But yeah, the Celt is a lot easier for me, thank you. How come you changed your name? You're no longer just, a Celt yourself, you're actually the Celt. You won the Highlander award. Cool, Celt? Yeah. That's what I thought. It's the same with, I have one guy who sometimes watches me on stream via Twitch. And his name is Atomic, but the last K, like the K of Atomic, is written as like a capital K. So always call him Atomic K. Or Atomic, or something. So yeah, I'm better than Highlander, I'm a soldier of Christ! Hell yeah. Oh no, hang on, not hell yeah. Hell boo. Heaven yeah. Great heavens. I'm not making fun of you, I'm a Christian myself. Just trying to be witty with it. I actually got my, my cross necklace, I'm wearing my cross necklace today. It's carved from a rock on the island of, I think, Inisheer in Ireland, on the west coast. My parents got it for me while they were there. I couldn't visit the island when I was there. There's too much else to do. Too much else to see. And my sister wanted to walk the beaches of Galway to look for more pirate glass, as she called it. or sea glass. Hang on, pirate glass is something else, but sea glass. And sea glass, for those of you who don't know, are pieces of glass that have fallen into the ocean, and by the movement of the waves, by the rocking of the waves, have like become very smooth and like polished in a very certain way. They look quite pretty, but at the end of the day, it is just polished glass rubbish, right? So yeah, we walked the beaches for like 2 days looking for rubbish. We actually found some in the end, so not too bad, I guess. But yeah. And after we found sea glass, she told me about pirate glass and how that's even like basically just older versions of these stones. And I'm just like, who put this idea into your head? That you had to walk the beaches of Galway? Nice, man, I like. Oh yeah, thank you. I like it very much as well. Especially because I kinda was there. I could see Inishir from the cliffs. Oops, sorry. Sea glass, yes, can be rare, but there's a whole beach somewhere on the planet full of it. You're not allowed to take it. BRB, my dinner is ready. Alright. See you soon. And yes, we basically walked like, so it went for us basically like this. The entire day, the 2 days that we looked were quite rainy and wet and very windy, quite stormy, so much like home, much like where I'm from. And we walked quite a bit. We drove like, so we lived in Galway itself, had a B&B there. Lovely people. If I remember the name, I'll tell you. Lovely hosts, and they actually had like the husband, drove us to where we started looking for the sea glass, and then we walked the entire beaches of Galway, almost all the way to the what's it called again? Kinglaive? Ah, right. To the amusement park, basically. And so that took quite a while. And all the way it was rainy and stormy, and we didn't find a single thing. Not really. We found like one very small shard of sea glass. And we were like, okay, right, let's head home, you know, it's over. And then we went back and I saw like this very small stretch of beach where we haven't been. It was more like part of the harbor. And I talked to her and was like, okay, come on, this last stretch we haven't looked at, it's on the way back home to the bus station anyway. Why not look here? And yeah, we looked, and the beach was full of that stuff. It was littered. So the currents apparently basically spewed all of that stuff right on that beach, on that small stretch of sand. And there we really got, like, we could even, like, select the good ones, you know? There were so many we had actually an option. Which ones to take home. So yeah, sea glass. If you find yourselves on the beaches of Galway, that's the thing to do. I'm pretty sure I even still have like the smallest piece of it in my briefcase. No, not briefcase. In my wallet. So there we go. Highlights are laid down. I'm trying to go a little bit less crazy than I usually do. Simply because I think the last time it looked more like he had some leather spandex on. Because it reflected so much. Because it was that shiny. And this time I really just wanted to be Legionary Decanus donating 6 shekels in a super chat. What's your favorite German dish? Holy shit, thanks, man. Oh, and Tion says, hey, how's it going? How's it going? On Twitch. Alright, so much stuff going on. First of all, thank you so much for the super chat. 6 shekels again. That's very sweet of you. Thank you. What's my favorite German dish? I think for me, my favorite German dish. So we have a lot of dishes in East Frisia specifically, and that's like what you would call Hausmannskost in German. And I think one of my favorite dishes is like in terms of meat, it's definitely a Sniertje, something we call Sniertje braten. So Sniertje roast, which is like the very like fresh meat. I'm writing it down for you. Sniertje. And that together with like either Steckrüben. Hang on, I'm writing all of this down, why not? Steckrüben or Grünkohl. My girlfriend doesn't like any of that, especially not green coal, like green cabbage. She hates that. But yeah, I personally love schnitzels. It's very popular in Israel. Oh, really? Is it? Didn't know. But yeah, schnitzels are, of course. I didn't want to say, you know, answer something like cliche. I of course also love bratwurst, and you know, could even argue that Döner is a German dish in a way. Oh, of course, currywurst. So curry sausage. Curry sausage also goes crazy. That's like my favorite feast. Not feast, but what's it called? Fair. Like when you're on a fair. My favorite dish to get there. You're not Israeli if you haven't ate schnitzels once? Really? Really? It goes that far? Didn't know. Cool. Hell yeah, but yeah, schnitzels are also very good. I think I ate too much of them when I was a child. And now I'm taking it a little bit more easy. And yeah, hey Jaeyoon! How's it going with you? How's your army coming along? I think the last time we spoke you told me that you are playing a different army? So no longer Space Marines now? You got yourself some other miniatures, is that correct? Oh yeah, you got the Cathay army box, didn't you? How's it going with those? And how's it going with ourselves, by the way? Legionary kind of says, well, now I'm really hungry, I'm gonna eat something. Hell yeah. Well, that happens. Alright, man. Take care, get yourself a nice schnitzel. Guten Abend, fellow Space King aficionados. Good evening, my fellow Psycho Warrior. I'm getting, like, I discounted Space King for, like, quite a while. Because I was like, you know, it's just a 40k parody, whatever. Wasn't that big of a fan of it by the first look, but now, like, the other episodes are out. And I'm constantly stumbling over, like, clips from Space King, you know? Like 10-second clips and everything. And it looks better every clip I see. Like, every clip that I get sent or that I stumble over, I'm just like, holy moly, maybe I should have a look myself. Like, that series actually looks hella fun.
Oh my god.
And it's also very well produced, I didn't know that. So, by the first look of it, I was like, well, whatever. But now that I've seen even more, like, especially the stills that they have, so good. And I think I'm overdoing it with the contrast. Yep, I'm overdoing it. I like the silly theme of it. Oh yeah. It's kind of also, like, quite relaxed. Like, having something, you know, you can watch without it taking itself too seriously. Especially because I, like, any day now, I'll start watching Andor again. So I watched season 1 when it came out. Haven't watched season 2 yet, so please no spoilers. Although I, kind of know how it ends. And, at least with those characters. And, yeah, because that series who are really well produced and really, well made and very captivating, always kind of stress me out. In the sense that I do quite a lot of stuff that stresses me out on like a meta level, because I myself take everything rather seriously. So even like things like painting miniatures, I of course, take very seriously, which can be quite stressing. So after that, I, when I just want to sit down and watch something, and the series is too good, it doesn't have that relaxing effect, right? So maybe I should watch Space King on the side. Maybe even together with Heinrich, and then we, like with Heinrich, and then we record some reactions. I don't know. I don't want to turn everything into content. Maybe let's not do that. But I could still watch it with Heinrich. Excited about the Dark Waters board game. I stopped playing the miniature games from GW. Rules and meta changes too often. The best thing GWs can do is supporting their games, which board games are. Stop supporting games. Yeah. Oh, and Petsakin says he knows what I mean. Bingo. That's the reason I watch Space King. There's no need to stress. It doesn't take itself seriously. Yeah, that's honestly kind of refreshing. Kind of nice, You gotta have something like that every now and again. And Duran Björnsen, to your question about Darkwater, I'm actually really excited about that. I definitely wanna, have a close look, and will most likely get the box set as soon as it drops. Even just, to paint the miniatures. Though, that was what I thought I would do. But then today on Reddit there was another leak on how the board game will look like. A very small leak. But it showed like the battlefield and the amount of miniatures that you get. And I don't think it's actually that comparable with the Cursed City. Which definitely make me, stop dead in my tracks, and leads me to re-evaluate my position on Darkwater, because maybe I won't be getting it after all. I really have to think about that more. But, I am still very excited about that it will exist, and then it will hopefully drop soon, so I can make up my mind. I can promise you, if Darkwater is like, I'm like, okay, it's not for me, then I'll paint some Silver Tower or Blackstone Fortress. I'll put it up for a vote. Whatever you guys would like to see more. And then we'll get another like nice series going. I think I overdid it with the contrast though. Gotta glaze it down later. Or I haven't done enough. Let me do the stuff on the, like the stuff on his hood more. I'll brighten it up more. Oh shit, he deleted his message, but I still see it. Yeah, I was surprised too at our small Darkwater Wars. How small Darkwater Wars? But I think they're going with something more casual than Cursed City, which was a whole campaign. That's true as well. I don't know why you deleted your message, but yeah, that's true as well. Like, I think Heinrich and I spoke about it in the last stream that we had, the Miniature of the Decade stream. That like we haven't played, like we can only play Cursed City like once a year, and it takes, like the missions take so long. And like, truth be told, I like Curse City, I like the dungeon crawler aspect of it and everything. But like, the missions do be getting a little bit repetitive. And it's also quite hard. I don't know if the game is quite hard or if we were just incompetent. But we have already lost, like, we have only killed one of Raduka's officers. Or maybe two, I don't know. I don't remember. But we have also lost, like, 2 heroes already. Or maybe even 3, I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I think we lost Glauriof van Alten. And we lost Brutok in the last game that we played. So yeah, not a good day for us. This doesn't look too good. I'll come back to that later. I was correcting my spelling mistake. Ah, I see. I don't need to do that. Wow, my voice is rough today. Alright. So we did that. Let me quickly compare it to the miniature that I like better. Yeah, this is like, the shadows are darker here than they are here. Maybe that's definitely, that's definitely a difference that makes this guy look better than this guy. Alright, but we'll come back to that later. For now, I wanna take some Ushapti bone. Yeah, some Ushapti bone. Which would also make sense because Ushapti bone is open anyways. So. Yeah. What else is there to tell you guys? I have started, this week marks the beginning of actually trying to upload daily. Which is going to be quite a big step, because I of course don't want to just upload like trash. I wouldn't want it to be, you know, worth your attention. So, even though most of these daily uploads will be shorts, like short form content, I try to edit the heck out of them. And we started yesterday with with a short about the first miniature that we went over during the miniature of the decade. And tomorrow, I personally think I did such a good job on the short that you'll actually get a notification. So usually I don't notify you guys when I post shorts, because I think that can be quite annoying, you know, to be notified about such small videos. And but tomorrow I think, like, okay, that's worth a watch. Me looking nice so far also. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's going alright. It's not quite what I want, though. It's not quite what I want. But thank you. I really hope as well that we're not getting, like, my girlfriend and I are not getting sick. Because, you know, not only is that never good, it of course would jeopardize my streaming schedule, no. It would pop more when you wash the flesh and highlight it. Yeah, that too. Maybe that's just, it really just is a trust the process kind of thing. Alright. Then Ushapti bone. You know. And of course, apart from painting the claws and like the horns, I think they're supposed to be horns that they use for weapons. Of course, wanna paint these bamboo sticks as well, and the skull. Like not his skull, but the skull that he has. bound to his waist. Warcry is actually a very fun game. Finally, I had our first training match a couple of weeks ago, I think, and it's very fun. I like that the barrier to entry is so far lower than for 40k and stuff. I know that for 40k fantasy and AOS you can buy like not necessarily the old world, but 40k and AOS you can buy like the spearhead boxes. But for to get going, but you still need like all the rules, and the rules can be a bit much if you just starting out. Warcry is just really comprehensive, and you literally don't need anything. I'm done with shading my shadow sword. Almost done with dry brushing the base colors also. Just the detail left to do. Nice. Nice. Big tanks. I have a Baneblade myself, which I used, of course, as different proxies as well. I think my favorite tank so far to use was the Doom Hammer, I think it's called. Sorry, the Doom Hammer. And, it's so powerful, it even made my voice crack there. And, that thing hit like a tree and then some. But yeah, the Baneblade that I got from eBay, and I really liked the look of it. It actually was like my second 40k model to ever own, so I owned like a Chimera before that. And then I saw, great offer on eBay. I was like, okay. It's also a very unique Baneblade. I've never seen anything else like that before and after. But now I kinda do want to add to it. I kinda do want to change the paint job a little bit at least. It's just that I think that, it already looks good, and it kind of goes against the grain of what I always say with like eBay miniatures and the way I handle them, so that, try to not change too much to honor the paint job of my predecessor. I have a Baneblade also. It was a flea market rescue. Woohoo! That's the dream right there. I've visited so many flea markets looking for Warhammer miniatures, but never got lucky so far. After buying the Shadow Sword, I have enough parts to make a Hellhammer turret also. Thinking of doing it later on this winter. Hell yeah. That sounds great. Love it. Alright. He has this little, like, pumpkin flask on his belt, which I think I'll just use XV88. That is Night Quest of Flesh. There's XV88. And after that, I think I'll take some Orc Flesh again, because I think he has like some arm, like wristbands, that are supposed to be light green. The Kelter's back, hey, let's go! What you get? What you get for dinner? And Panzer Kitsune says, I mean, of course, by the way, your name is Panzer, so of course you gotta have at least 2 super heavy tanks, right? Clues in the name, should have thought. I can send you pics of them when the Shadow Sword is done. Oh yeah, please do. Please do, I'm definitely interested to see what you did. Is it even a pumpkin flask? I don't even know. Not quite so sure now. Whoops. I'm building Snarlpack Hunters, Goblins and Wolves for my priest. They're tiny, I got the magnifier out. Really, so small? Alright. We just talked about, like, on the weekend, on the stream that we did on the weekend, no, on Thursday, I think. We just talked about Dorok's Sun Chomper, so the fat goblin on wolf, the leader of, I think, the goblins. I don't know exactly his lore, But he looked very cool. I like that the goblins still have this, like, Mad Max, Grom the Paunch aesthetic going on. I had curly fries, curry baked beans, and sausages. That sounds great. And a fried egg? That sounds lovely, dude. That sounds pretty British as well. But yeah, very nice. So I actually did paint them with the lead belcher. Oh yeah, by the way, so this is for the pumpkin flask. Ah, again, orc flesh. It's boring, lol. You mean your dinner or the goblins? AFK dinner? Hamburger homemade. Oh yeah. I kind of thought that when I stream at around like 5:30 in the afternoon that everybody would be getting dinner. Glad to see that. I guess I'm kind of right. I was right with that assumption. But yeah, Kelt, was your dinner boring or the goblin aesthetic? If I had bacon and some fried toast, it'd be a fried breakfast. Bacon and toast. Hell yeah. Our breakfast currently is also just like basically one egg on toast, the one fried egg on toast each. And after that, because there's usually still oil in the pan, I just, turn off the heat, put a piece of toast in and let it soak up all the oil and fry in it. It's like very nice. Me dinner, but I had Chinese yesterday. Alright, okay. Chinese. Alright. I was very lucky today because my girlfriend cooked for me. So we had like lunch/dinner, like a very late lunch or an early dinner. Have it whatever way you think is best. And she made some sort of, what's it called in English? There's like a baked dish with potatoes, mushrooms, spinach, all like with lots of sauce and baked over with like cheese. But it was very watery, so we ate it more like a soup, like a thick soup. Ah, damn lovely. Very nice. The Celt says cool. Yeah. By the way, the Celt 76. Why the Celt 76? Birth year or Warhammer? Not Warhammer, Fallout enthusiast? My guess would be birth year or Overwatch enthusiast, on that matter. Birth year? Alright, okay. Damn straight. I'm very interested to see how Dark Water will look like once they tell us more about it. And of course the miniatures will make or break if I cover it or not. Because I do kind of like all the miniatures that they have there like in concept. I kind of already own and I've kind of already painted as well. It wouldn't be like that interesting, but if of course the miniatures are awesome looking and the game is good, and then I'll of course, and the deal of good is good on the game as well, and then I'll give it a try. Then I'll have a crack at it. I'm an oldie but goldie. Well, didn't want to say it. Yeah, you seem like a goldie to me. Heinrich once alleged that I was probably the youngest person currently in the stream. Like, in this specific stream. And I'm, like, he is not... Usually he's not wrong. What's this figure for? It's a warrior of the Rootmire Creed. So for Warhammer Warband. Warcry, sorry. It's basically like squads of about 10 guys going at each other with more individual rules and like hero actions and stuff. It's very fun. It's very fun, I can highly recommend it. So far, I only played one game. Heinrich and I will play again in November, and after that I'll tell you all about it. And you will have no choice in it, in the matter, because I am going to film it all. Sometimes I do feel a little bit like the, you know, the Lego movie parody. Everything is content. But, well, if you do Warhammer content and all you do in your free time is Warhammer, then yes, I guess everything is content. And now I need some brass. Yes. Is that the correct brass? No. I want Balthasar gold. I think with Nurgle miniatures it just looks better. Because he has like this small fly pendant on his belt. I do want to catch that. Shit, I completely forgot that I'm going to wash this guy, and after that I have to wait for a couple of minutes. I don't know what I'm gonna do then. Oops, sorry. Maybe I'll edit something. How about that? We'll edit something live on stream, because I'm just about to finish another video and only need to, like, the thing that I needed, I can like just upload and finish the whole thing, so you guys can see how much work goes into these little shorts. I'm always surprised myself, like even the simplest of shorts still take me like 45 minutes to an hour to edit. Which is a lot if you want to post every day. But maybe I'm just bad, you know? I do want to do the skin tone next. For that I think I'll take some Zandri Dust, Palette White Flesh, and Cadian Flesh Tone. Mix them up real nice. And that'll be our skin tone. Maybe not Palette White Flesh just now. Maybe I'll leave that for the highlighting stage of the process. He's turning around because a horns popped out in his back, and he's like, I knew I shouldn't do. I shouldn't have drank from the bottle I found. Yeah, pretty much. That's of course a great way to interpret the mini as well. He's like, huh? What is happening? Which, you know, is a thing surprisingly many demon connoisseurs, you know, filthy heretics do. I'm just reading one of the I think part 3 it was of the Siege of Terra series, where Skrybok, the self-appointed chapter master of the Night Lords, got screwed over by a demon and killed by an Imperial Fist captain, Blood Angels captain Nurgle. And as he lays there on the ground, dying, you know, coughing up, drowning in his own blood, that filthy bastard, arrogant bastard, more to say, the demon of the blade that he uses actually, like, comes to him and offers him something to save himself from death to make himself reborn. And he's just like, oh, Pierre, please. He's like, he knows in his mind that, okay, this is going to be a bad idea. I'm going to make a deal with the demon. But, you know, he's such a... I mean, you know, on the brink of death, I think everybody is a coward. But he's such a coward that he just takes the offer. And then the demon is like, alright, you're going to be reborn as a master of pain. But before you can inflict pain, you first have to experience it. And that's why I'll take you to the warp and let you go through the most painful things that you've ever envisaged for 6 times 666 years. I'm just like, when I read that, I was like, damn. Interact Scribok. Tricky the Clown says, oh hi! Hi man! How are you doing? Just painting up some Age of Sigmar heretics. How about you? He got as a punishment, got it. Yeah, he's like, the demon was also like kind of sick of his shit, so I think, you know, he definitely looked forward to that. Because Skybok was, you know, as many Night Lords are, is a little bitch. And, so yeah, he definitely relished at the opportunity to have his way with him. I learned of Plague Marine Flame Troopers. Plague Marine Flame Troopers? Somehow I'm not surprised by that. On the other hand, I don't have a picture in mind. Are there Plague Marine Flame Troopers? I don't know. Not as miniatures as far as I'm concerned, but I of course don't know the entire range. I'm probably more thinking about like boars, like spore spewers or something. What have you learned about them? Just simply that they exist, or is there more to it? Is there gonna be more to it? Yeah, I think... Oh, that's way too white. Out of context, this would sound bad, but... way too light. Say that. There we go. Well, look at him. He reminds me of Robin Williams in Pan. What? This guy? Or Jumanji? Really? I think that must have been the first Jumanji then, right? Didn't see that one. I remember the trailer running, like in the movies, like in the TV program. But I never watched Jumanji. Like I watched the version with Dwayne Johnson in it. Which back in the day I found kind of funny. I don't know how I would like it now, but that was quite alright. It was a great relief for me when I discovered Blood Bowl 20-something years ago. It was a great finding for a great miniature game that didn't have war at its core. Oh! I mean, Blood Bowl always, like, also seems kinda fun. Yeah. But I still do wanna have... war at the core of my game. I had for the longest time like a very cool idea for some Blood Bowl terrain. Like, yeah, have it take place in. But, you know, as long as I can't get to that, I won't bother with the game itself. Not like I'm short on things to paint and play anyways, so... You know. First is good with Robin Williams, alright. Keep that in mind. All these pus boils on his hands, we definitely need to circle back to those later, make him look even more disgusting. He's supposed to look sickly and ill, which he really does not. Durin Björnsson, as the Celt says to Durin, that he still has his first edition from the 1980s, from Blood Bowl. It's that old. I am. Games Workshop really just be doing anything, right? Back in the day. Which is fair enough. Sometimes you gotta just throw stuff at the wall and see what sticks. And Games Workshop, surprisingly, pretty much anything. Pretty much everything, I mean. There you go. Hang on, I'll highlight his beard as well as I'm at it. Oops. Yeah. The string in the middle is a little bit much. But that won't be my concern now. My voice is really weird today. Are you guys hearing this too, or am I going crazy? Cardboard pitch with all the teams in the cardboard. Hang on, what? Cardboard pitch with all the teams in cardboard slips and White Dwarf Skaven when they first arrived on the scene. Oh, interesting. So that's how the first edition of Blood Bowl looked like. That's cool. Or looks like in your case, as you actually do own it. Hang on, I'll quickly jot down as a paint. Skin tone is Ushab die Bone. No, it's wrong. It's Palette White Flesh. Administrator Grey? Yeah. Admet Grey. Cadian Flesh up. Cadian F. And of course Zandri Dust. I think I can leave that out. Yes, the rulebook is classic, has ref picks every page getting beaten up and a page of ref signs. Really? Some cool law? Interesting. Games Workshop did really used to have more fun back in the day. Like, they try to still channel that, a little bit of that energy, especially for their fans. I think especially, like, many of their staff actually, you know, still try to have fun at the company. But it is, like, you know, in comparison, if you compare, like, rule books to one another, like, the fantasy rulebook had so many little, like, quirks in it, and, like, authors annotations on how to play the game and how they play the game. And of course, you know, the most important rule of games of a game of Warhammer is afterwards that you shake hands and grab a beer, you know? Stuff like that. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't read that in nowadays rule books. Contemporary rule books. How does this... Yes. So for the horns, I think... Do I need to exfoliate? No, I don't. No, I don't. Okay, cool. Actually, only need dried bark, I think. And after that, I'll need some Ashen Grey. Oh, I do actually have Ashen Grey. Holy shit, I didn't even need to mix it up. Alright. For the beard of this mage, I mixed up like an Ashen Grey-ish color with just some regular acrylic ink, regular acrylic black, and some Dawnstone. Wouldn't even need to do that. Huh. How about that? It's too competition orientated now than fun in the stories like back in the day. Yeah. I mean, like, but at the same time, isn't it like that Games Workshop on its own like makes more money than the entire British fishing industry? So I don't know, bro. I don't know, like, how much competition do they really have? the only reason they got competition, like in the first place, in the broadest sense, because they're fucking the fans over so much. Pretty sure Trench Crusade wouldn't be a thing if Games Workshop wasn't such dickheads currently. You know, our old Chancellor Bismarck, the old Prussian Chancellor Bismarck once said that it is a foundational need, like a basic need of the Germans, to come together over a pint of beer and badmouth the politics. Like, not badmouth, but enrage themselves over German politics. And I think this same basic need exists for Warhammer hobbyists as well. To come together over a pint of beer and rage over Games Workshop. Question, can you please make one of the followers be frostbitten? Oh. Yeah, sure. That's a cool idea. Maybe this guy. Maybe I'll do this guy. Why not? Sure. I mean, 40k is now tournament related. Oh, yeah, right. That's another thing that I talked with Heinrich about in the last stream. Where it was like, bruh, all of their rules and rule changes are only like geared towards the top 1% of players who play this game competitively. Like, much like it is in Overwatch, which usually is ruining the fun of the game for every other person involved.
What?
Yeah? Oh, thank you. Yeah, sure. What was it saying? Oh yeah, it's geared to more towards the top 1% of the players, and I can't do all at once. Hang on, dried bark and ashen grey. Or the horns. And much like in Overwatch, this just takes the fun out of the game. It takes the quirkiness out of the game. Because these people are going to be like, oh, I don't want to have these, like, random factors. Or, can you please make this rule more clearly? No. Right? You don't need that. Just, if a rule isn't clear to you, just go over it before the match. And, like, say to your best buddy, alright man, this is how we're going to play this rule. It's not that hard. God. Back in the day when I played fantasy with my friends, we were just a bunch of kids and we were like very like into it and very competitive to an insanely cringe level. And this is what I feel like too many Warhammer players are like as well. Like, man, it's just a game. As someone who never played competitively, it's really just a game. It's not that serious. And also, like, I'd love to see some random factors. Imagine winning a tournament because, I don't know, all of your orcs start bashing one another because they failed the morale test. And are now hacking and slashing one another, like it was in fantasy, old school fantasy. So fun! So fun! Or your commander can't do anything for the entire tournament because it's constantly failing his stupidity tests. Like, so fun, such fun. Would make for great headlines in the White Dwarf as well. Like, scenery is now dull and boring. I can make way better from cereal boxes and Pritstick. Yeah, same as well. Like, the only scenery that I would like to have, like from Games Workshop, was at first I thought like the Volkus, like the scenery that came with Kill Team Hivestorm, like the Hivestorm Kill Team box assortment thingy. Those are like really bland, and most of the other 40k sceneries as well. I first of, like, in the first moments I liked when they did the change that all of their scenery is normed. So, you know, every window has the right height, every stuff has the right thickness or whatever. So it makes it easier to play with the rules, you know? But then at the same time, like, it's not that necessary. It's not that necessary to do that. And it also restricts, as you said, like, I think the design of the scenery. Some players also noticed GW scenery is not transport friendly, as most maps, the vehicles get stuck in one area and streets are too thin. Yeah, that's also another thing. And Heinrich said that as well, that it seems to be that GW is actively moving away from tanks. Like, what was the last tank that got released for anybody, right? I'm pretty sure it was the only factions that do get tank releases are tank factions, like the Astra Militarum. They got the Rogel Dorn. And I think that's it. I don't remember any more tanks have been... I mean, Horus Heresy, of course, but, you know, Horus Heresy is an entire new game set, so I don't know how much I should count that. Yeah. Only GW scenery I have is sand and bone stuff. Most GW scenery is good, but I'm on about the tourney scenery is dull as hell. Yeah. Again, I think like some scenery is cool. I love the Warhammer Fantasy scenery. But actually I forgot something there. But the like 40k scenery and even the AOS scenery. Actually, you know what? You wanna know something? I fucking hate the AOS scenery. Goddamn. So goddamn useless. Holy shit. I remember the first piece of scenery that AOS had, like that I remember, where was this god ugly chaos fortress. God awful. And like the stuff that came after that was way too gaudy and way too over the top. I know what they like. I get the concept behind it. I'm not mad about the concept. I'm just mad about the execution. It just didn't look good. At least I don't think so. Especially like coming right after fantasy, like right from fantasy, where everything was still very like low key and rooted in reality. But yeah, that stuff didn't look good at all. Nowadays it's moving in a little bit of a better track, but back then, damn. Or maybe it just took some time for me to adjust to the new design philosophies. That might also be the case. Okay. I think, actually... Well, actually, I think we're done. I think this guy is done. More or less. Of course he needs to, you know, still be washed, and then we need to intensify the shadows and stuff. But you know, he needs to be washed first, and now I just want to know, do I wash him? Like, the clothing, I think I should wash with Agrax Earthshade. But for the skin, I'm thinking more like Nuln Oil, actually. To make it look a little bit more, you know, dead looking. So I think I'll start with a wash on the clothes and like the horns and stuff, all of his attachments. And then once that's like dried, like started to dry, I'll wash the rest of him in Nuln, like the skin and stuff. Ah, shit. Just ruined the horn. Oh well. I don't actually need to be that careful with it. Hang on. I'll take a better suited brush. Oh, and forgot the leaves on his shoulder. Whoops. And Panzerkiezen is back as well. What you get for dinner? Oh yeah, again, the hamburgers, I remember. Hamburglar. I like 3D printed scenery. I have a Nurgle infested Gothic ruins castle, and I'm after a town, all old world stuff for Death Town for my Soulblights. Ooh, yeah, 3D printed scenery also is like very cool. I love a lot of stuff that they do for like D&D, tabletops. Like just, you know, the way that, you know, they're designed and stuff. The thing is, they are also like rather premium priced, which I get. Oh, usually it is. I only know Etsy, so I don't know how it is in the free market. But you know, on Etsy they're rather on the more expensive side, which is fair enough. But I still am of the mindset that I won't pay Games Workshop prices for not Games Workshop like miniatures. And so I actually am a big fan of building scenery myself, and I will build a lot of scenery very soon, and I'll show you guys how to do it. I even did like a video years ago how to build scenery on literally a $0, like a €0 budget. I built it from only trash and like of course cardboard, mostly cardboard. But even all the details are made from scratch, from trash. And some of the details, like I think I placed like a chest in it and a bucket that I had left over from brew bits. So, you know, I didn't count those because those were just leftovers. But yeah, hang on. After the wash, this guy is looking a lot better. Hell yeah. After that we can just have to go in a little bit more into the shadows. And of course do the skin. But once that's done, that's cool. The grade for 40k AOS Old World kill team list goes on. Oh, they are great, yeah. I get that. I think the scenery looks lovely. And some of the scenery is actually very fairly priced. Like, let's not lie here. That's actually quite nice. What I miss from Games Workshop's scenery is just the like the over-the-top, insano style scenery that they used to have. Like the big buildings, like the stuff that really resembled like a hive city. Oh, that was so cool. Alright, I'll be quickly just typing in a Greg shade. And then, I'm very interested to see if my PC can handle this stuff. June Cheesy Noodles is here. Hi! Oh damn! Alright, maybe I'll just keep painting then. if new people are joining. How long have you been painting minis for? I've been painting minis for around about 10 to 11 years now. Or at least I'm in the hobby for that long. I started when I was just like 14 years old. Now I'm 25. Though I did take a big break in between. I don't know exactly why, I don't remember. Maybe I just also got nothing done. That could also be the case. But for years, you know, not much happened. And now just, you know, 3 years ago I started on this I started this YouTube experiment, and that's where I really got going with painting. I really got back into the matter. But yeah, glad to have you here. What are you painting on this fine evening, and what brought you to this stream? That would also interest me. That's what I liked. Skeleton cool. Yeah? You like this guy? He's also my favorite so far. One thing that I'm like not quite sure on how to do is definitely the base. I do want to have like some sort of marshland with it. You know, because they are from the swamp. But I'm not that keen, like I'm not that big with bases, so I don't know how to do that. Gotta look for more inspiration on that. Lol, I forgot my full handle, was that? That's cool, my brother just got me into 40k and I painted my first mini like a week ago. Was a lot of fun? Hell yeah, let's go! Glad to have you here in the plastic crack addicted circles. Also just randomly scrolling YouTube and I saw this live recommend, so I was like, I like watching people paint, let's check it out. Alright, thank you. That's very sweet. Alright, guys. In that case, I'll just keep painting. Because I need to take like a break to let the wash dry. I can't. Whoa! I can't just keep going. But, you know, let's just keep painting. I'll switch for a very hot second to a miniature that has nothing to do with the Rootmire Creed. And instead, I'll just quickly keep painting Prince Althron right here. Because why not? Swamp, or just go for Femod. Yeah, that might also be an idea. Not quite sure what to do. What army did you start with? By the way, your brother got you into 40k? Holy shit. I tried that with my siblings for years. And none of them liked it. Like, I tried to get them into fantasy, but they couldn't give a damn. So yeah. Good job with your brother on that. Don't worry, she harmless. And yeah, by the way, as you're very new to this channel, I do have my email and Instagram in the description of this channel, in the YouTube description. And if you want, you can send me a picture of your miniature. I always like to have a look on stream, what people are doing, and especially as it's your first miniature, I'd love to have a look. I'll show you my first miniature as well if you want. So then it's fair. Well, what do we have here, says Matt from Pressburg. Hi, Matt. Yeah, how are you doing? How are you doing? Alright. I think the next thing I want to take care of with Prince Althron is his cape. Yes, why not? Or should I? Yeah, come on. What? Wish I had mine, but they were lost to time. Oh, your first miniatures? Ah, that's sad. Yeah. I still have, like, I know exactly which miniature I painted first. It was one of the Sword Masters of Hoeth. A High Elven Swordmaster that came with the Battle for the Blood Island pack for Warhammer Fantasy 7th edition, I think. And back in that day, I didn't even know that I had to buy proper Games Workshop colors, so I just painted them with acrylic paint, regular acrylics that I had, and that didn't look good. Sure, I think I did pretty alright, so I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'll send it here in a second. Nice, great. Just let me know when you send it. That's cool, let's go! Another thing to have a look at. I remember, I'll still remember that one lady who sent in her, her first miniature that she ever painted, and it turned out to be Laukavai, the great vampire queen. And I was like, holy shit, that's one... Like, that's one for a first miniature, holy moly. It looked very good as well. The Fixer2954 says, I have a question about your camera setup. What are you using for your A and B cams? Alright, I'll tell you. So, in my hand right now is a Trust webcam. Just for, you know, regular HD, so 1080p. Regular webcam, I can't, like, do anything with the settings. So I can't change the settings to anything fancy. So this is pretty much what you get. Hang on, I'll even show you the proper face cam. So this is the quality that you get. It's quite good. I'm very happy with it, especially with the price. And over here, hang on, let me lead you guys all the way around. Over here, we have my other camera. Can I do that without the lens flare? My god. Okay. Which is... hang on. Ah, there we go. Which is a Canon 650D. I can type it in the chat if you want as well. Quite a good camera. I've been using it for years now, but I'm also quite sure that you can't get them anymore. Like, you can't get them new, I think, because the only ones that I found on Amazon were used on Amazon. That has to mean. But yeah, Canon 650D, quite nice. Hang on, I'll type it in the chat as well. And the other one is a Trust webcam. Shouldn't be that expensive. Are we back? Oh, hang on. What's going on? Painting stream, there we go. And of course, to, you know, connect everything, I got an HDMI to USB cable and the Elgato Cam Link for 4K, because why not? It was the only one that I knew. Got that one for Christmas. That one is rather expensive. I think the Elgato Cam Link costs more than my camera. But yeah, hope to have answered your question. Hope to meet thy elven group on the battlefield someday against my folk. Oh yeah. I'll meet you with a staunch line of spears that you have never seen before. I got like 200 spearmen or something. Awesome, thank you, dude. You didn't have to interrupt your whole stream just for that, I appreciate it. Oh yeah, sure. Hey man, I try to help out with any way, shape or form that I can, so I don't mind at all. It was only a short break. And to be quite frank with you as well, I do literally need to wait for paint to dry. So you also like caught a very good moment to ask me that. I hope the others don't mind too much. Alright. But yeah. Back when I started painting Prince Alfred, I was kind of like... I think I realized that it's probably going to be a lot harder to stream and film videos at the same time. By the way, I just forgot to do that literally right now. Because I kind of thought that, you know, if I could film the video footage for the videos that I make while streaming, that of course would be amazing, because it would lead me to be able to, you know, talk more to you guys, do more streaming, and still get my video footage done. But it is, you know, surprisingly, it is very hard to talk, film, and stream at the same time. Like, think about the way that all the footages have to be done. Yeah. So it definitely needs some more adjusting from me. I mean, of course, last time was a stress test, if I've ever seen one as well. Simply because, you know, Theinrich was there as well, and I talked to him. And I think I spoke some words to my girlfriend as well, so yeah. It's all around a lot for my smooth brain to handle. So... By the way, one more thing to my camera. I've got a friend who works in, like, visual media. He works at a rather big production company here in Germany as an editor. And I asked him specifically for, like, any recommendations for a camera or, like, what I need. So, like, a budget cam, which has to have crisp footage up close, but also, again, not too expensive. And he asked one of the cameramen in his crew for any recommendations, and he was like, okay, right, this camera, the Canon 650D. So, yeah, but that, you know, that's been quite a few years now, 3 years to be exact, or 4, I think 3. And, oh yeah, I just got your email, by the way. Thanks for notifying me. I'll have a look right after I'm done sketching in the highlights for this cape. So, if you know, want to have something more modern, I think you will find something that might yield better results on the same budget. Maybe. This guy also doesn't have autofocus, so it does have autofocus, but the autofocus is not good, especially at least not up close. And so I have to focus in manually all the time, which is why sometimes the footage just gets extremely blurry during stream, because I don't check as often as I do when just filming normally. And I think that's where the problems actually stop, I think. Yeah, you can hook it up to a, like, do a socket in the wall to feed it electricity, and you can also, you know, hook it up to a cam link rather easily if you have the right cable, though. That took me quite a while to find. Mini HDMI is something that, well, isn't that commonly sold anymore. Wanted to give my tech shop in my local city a chance, but he couldn't provide, so I had to go to Amazon. Oh, nobody says hey yo. Hey yo, man. How are you doing? If you decrease the aperture, you increase the focus range. It will capture good detail regardless of slight hand movements. That's one thing that I heard as well. Thing is, that doesn't really work. Like, I have only a very tight range to work with this camera, just due to my lighting setup. I mean, I did just recently change my lighting setup, so maybe I can try that again, because I think the lighting is better now, thanks to the small LED on top now. Maybe you're right. Maybe I should have a look more into that again. I'll actually photograph your comment. Alright. Prince Alphon is getting his cape rather slowly. What model are you painting today? Well, Prince Alphon is actually stealing the show right now because we are waiting for this fella to dry. Another warrior of the Rootmire Creed, mainly because I completely forgot how I painted him. Like, which paints I used in which order to get which result, right? Because I painted 2 different ways. And rewatching the stream didn't help, so I need to paint him a 3rd time. I hope you like Rootmire Creed, because that's all you're getting. I need a better lamp. Oh yeah, I mean these small LEDs are actually pretty nice. Oh yeah. Currently we're waiting for the Agrax Earthshade to dry, but I actually think that we're right now in a prime position to take the needed nylon oil and paint his skin. June, I'll be right back with you as well, by the way. I just quickly slop some nylon oil onto his skin, then I'll have a look at the email that you sent me. You sent 4 pictures, which is very sweet. Oh. Sure to have a look. It's great to see the miniatures at more angles than one. As we found out recently, like in the last stream with Heinrich, where I saw the miniature as like pure black and he thought it was like a matte gold. So yeah. Always them Saturnine Terminators. Always making problems for us here in these streams. Alrighty. That's nice. Is it? So for everybody who doesn't know, we currently have June in the chat, and she just I don't actually know. Got just into Warhammer 40k with her brother, who got her into that. But the wash made it glossy, and nah, I think if I tone it down a little bit, it'll be okay. I think it'll be okay. I think the reason it looked so glossy is because I tuned up the contrast so much on the highlights. But yeah, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, she painted just recently her first model, and she lets us partake in this magic moment. So, now that the wash has been applied, and I stumbled over my words again, it's time to have a look at the email. I gotta save the pictures first because I don't want to dox you accidentally. I do that with my friends too often already, so with my audience I try to be extra careful. I'll be right back with you, and then we'll probably paint some more of like Prince Alphon's cape. Lol, you're all good, thank you. I just picked up Lady Malice today. Had to go through 5 stores in 3 cities. My god. dedication. My nose is itching. Alright. First mini! Alright. Excuse my poor nail polish. I think you're good. I think you're good here. Alright. Ooh. Wow, what a nice workstation, by the way. I love people knowing where I live. I have guns in my house and barely get to use them. Well, that's something that the German mind can't comprehend. My brother has a crossbow in his flat, so you don't want to mess with him. Models sold out everywhere. Damn. Alright. Ooh, she even sent a video. Amazing. Alright, let's go, guys. Matt from Pressbook says, by the way, I don't know if you know the miniature sculptor Paul Stanley from UK, but now he makes some airships from green stuff for dwarves. Be inspired for my dwarven house to do something big? Ooh. Durin says, I'm in Sweden, by the way. Yeah, no, I know, but, you know, maybe you live like in the woods or something, like in the forest, like the Swedish forest, and have to have like a gun for hunting moose or something. I don't know. Anyways, look at this! Some blue Tau. Hell yeah! That's some, like, that's some very decent work for first miniature. My god. Pretty nice. Even the gear, like the palette and everything, I can still see like the blue, I think, where you mixed the paint with water. You're right. Let's go. Nice and clean. Oh yeah, it is. Very sweet. A great start. Also, you know, more than 3 colors, so it is officially game ready, game table ready. You will get your 3 extra victory points. Nice, very good brush control. Like, this hand, like the detail on there, is no joke. My brother let me use a few of his palettes. All the paints I used were mine and my brushes. Ah, yeah, alright. So you got yourself a starter set then, or just specifically picked some out for your minis? That's amazing. Oh, so sweet. Look at this. A first miniature. Hell yeah. Thanks for sharing. This makes me so happy. Also never saw the Tau's guns as that bulky. My gosh. Is it time for photos? Yes! June sent some in. I love when there's more Tau players, nothing like salty Emperor Sims over here. Everybody sent Yen some pictures. Oh my gosh. Your brother will start getting you to paint his stuff, lol. That's actually what I tried to do with my siblings, because I didn't want to spend so much money on more miniatures to paint. So I hoped they would start their own armies and let me paint their miniatures. Big brain. Pretty much the same as I do with you, but for some reason I can't get my PO box set up. I bought a starter set for D&D minis to paint. Alright! But then I was like, I have 40k minis, so you could paint if you want. Right. They just did that first. Interesting. Oh, so... Oh! Right, he got you that way. That's interesting. Huh. Fascinating. I got a D&D starter set as well. Like D&D painting starter set. Never tried it though. And, are you ready for the video? First paint attempt. Hell yeah. That's sweet. Alright. Is there anything I can even say to this? I think, like, you do everything pretty much right, so... Of course, there's no wash on it. I think wash itself... Like, some people will argue against stuff like, where is it? For example, Nuln oil. Hang on, where is it? Saying like, it stains the miniature so bad, but it's actually quite nice to get some early shadows in. It really is speed painting in a bottle, and usually lifts up paint jobs to like a next level very, very quickly. And with not much effort, there's not much that you have to think about. And I still use it to this day, so I don't know what all these elitist Warhammer painters have going on. There's a tiny bit of wash on it, but I don't think I put enough on it. Oh, right. Ah. There definitely, like, there are some memes about heavy washes, and I do use heavy washes quite frequently as well. But if you wash the miniature too heavily, you know, it can lead to entirely different problems of, like, paint pooling and stuff. So, you know, don't overdo it, rather do 2 thin coats than 1 thick coat, right? I think you probably have heard that one already. Nylon Silver Dragonhoff for the blue. Okay. Greetings all, make sure to like the stream, says Slow 2x2s. Thank you so much. I didn't use wash for years now. Or yeah, really, you don't. I still use them. 11 years later, I still use them. Yeah, the paint. Are you using a rather small brush? Because I do see a lot of, like, brush ductus, so brush strokes in here, like where the paint kind of like clumps up a bit. Oh, again, I can pick up my own, like my first match as well, so we get even here, right? Nobody says sorry, gotta go, bye. Guest just came in. Oh, right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, man. Have fun with your guests. See you next time. Hopefully on the weekend. Hang on, I'll get my miniature, and you please type in if you used a small brush or no, because that would be interesting to know. I'll make it extra crisp. I'll be right back. Ah, there I am. Wow, okay, so Madurin again deleted one of his messages. How dare he? Does that all the time. June says, yes, I have a few tiny brushes. My girlfriend and I bought a couple brush sets together because she loves painting and I really never have. Interesting. Wash is rock for a lot of things. Maybe not display stuff, but tabletop gaming minis, they help. Yeah, definitely. I think so as well. And even so, like, for most of the speed paints that I do on this channel, I think many miniatures of those could be considered display worthy. So, you know, if you do another highlight after the wash, I think it works out most of the time. First thing new hobbyists need to learn, says Durin, is making a wet palette, because you thin your colors down properly and they don't lose moisture during the painting session. That's something I still haven't done. Yeah, I still haven't mastered the wet palette or used it that much. I'm more for traditional, like pencil on paper kind of art and writing. So this was kind of fun and a new adventure. Oh, definitely. So I'm currently studying illustration and like traditional art, at like a small art academy here in Germany. And I remember the first time when we had like classical painting session in the first semester. That was like hella fun for me as well, because I of course, you know, have painted before. I've painted these miniatures, but like on a canvas to paint is an entirely different thing. So definitely keep at it, because it is fun. Matt says, for me washes feel restrictive and many times I fear I ruined the minis, so we have to repaint. Fair enough, I get that as well. It is a little bit of a dance that you have to do with it, right? You have 3 photos from me on Insta? Oh, on Insta, alright, I'll check that out. But first, get your drums out. My first ever miniature, here it is. Woo! Woo! A Swordmaster of Hoeth. From the good old Battle for the Blood Island box set. I painted this miniature when I was like 15 or something. So yeah, glad to still have this guy. I remember very distinctly when I painted him that I was like, huh, somehow this looks different than the miniatures that I see in the Games Workshop catalogs. What is going on? Is it like, am I photographing it wrong or something? Have they polished it more? And then somebody, like my friend, told me, oh yeah, there are like paints for these, like actual paints. So, metal. So this is my first ever miniature, and this is my first miniature with like Citadel colors. So we have a little bit better of a comparison. June says, I'm looking forward to getting more into the 40k universe. He hooked me by asking me to make a homebrew Space Marine chapter. Let's fucking go! The rite of passage. No matter which faction you play, you always have to make yourself a custom Space Marine chapter. Hell yeah. I've done one myself. I haven't painted one though. And so I had to start looking for specific stuff up. That's so clever though. Gotta remember that for if I ever get new people into the hobby. Matt says, even though I would repaint my first mini numerous times by now. Ah, no, that's not good. I did that once. I did that with my Sea God of Lobban. I repainted those when I had better paints, like different paints. But, yeah, I think, like, all in all, you shouldn't do that. Currently, I'm writing a short story for the chapter I may put on my channel when it's done. Ooh, please do. Can I find you under June Cheesy Noodles, or do you have a different channel? I'm back from eating some rice and tomato sauce I made, says Legionary Decanus. Ooh. And Vash is here as well. Vash. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you. Oh, those are both really cool. Yeah, I really like them. I'm actually amazed that even back then, like as a 15-year-old with only one brush, I managed to paint the like individual hairs of the plume of his helmet. So yeah. Also very clean. I'm still like, of course this is my own fucking miniature, but I'm still impressed like how many newcomers to the hobby are like very clean with it, right? Like especially like even like circling back to the miniature that you sent in, the details that you painted on his hand, like that's very clean. That's very nice. Good luck, Sisterin. I think if more people would do their own homebrew chapters and factions, we will live in a better world. Keep practicing those creative muscles. Ooh, yeah. That's good to back as well. Nice. Enjoyed the video with the lady. It was fun and nice change of pace. Oh yeah, it definitely was. Although, like, the way that I edited that short makes me and Feinrich look like massive jerks. I don't know what I was thinking. It was very unintentional editing. That like apparently I myself am my own worst enemy when it comes to that video. But yeah, there'll be another one tomorrow. It'll be even better, even funnier, even more edited than the one that came out yesterday, so definitely be tuned for that. But glad that you liked it. June says, I think the first one is really good still, even if the colors are a bit more flat. I think it still has good charm to it. And Durin says, and she says to Durin, thank you. I'm looking forward to creating more for the universe just for fun. Oh, definitely. Definitely do. And Durin just subscribed. Thank you very much. Glad to have you on board. Glad that you like it here. I hope my videos will not disappoint. I would definitely recommend now in the spooky season to check out my Halloween videos. Because those are not only fitting the season, but also have an insane amount of production behind them. In terms of creativity. Oh, yeah. Town. So nice. But again, when I asked about like the small miniature brushes, like if the paint is not thin enough, like if it's like just slightly too thick, and you apply the paint with like many brush strokes from tiny bristles, like a build up like this happens a lot more quicker, where the paint starts like to clump up a little bit while painting. So yeah, you know, just, I guess, a tip? I don't know. It's your first miniature, so I don't want to be like, because, you know, it's the first miniature, right? You will figure all of this out in no time, so there's no reason for me to start, like, saying anything here. Except if you want something, if you want to know something specific, then of course, feel free to ask. I don't want to, I'm always happy to give advice, just don't like to do it unsolicited. Matt says, I had a custom 40k chapter back in 7th edition. It was for Admech's Guitari faction. Make them look like World War I Russian infantry. Have no photos of them anymore? They got sold? Ah, that's sad. June says, also yeah, I'd probably post the video on this channel. Nice. I do voice acting work on this channel, so it would be a type of voice work. Interesting, because I am currently doing big audio voice acting work myself. And I am looking for, like, someone who can speak, like, I think, like 3 lines for a female character, so I might hit you up. But as it is a Warhammer 40k project, I'm currently having it on ice. Because I'm afraid to get it, you know, to put in hundreds of hours of work, only for it to be, like, DMCA'd and taken down immediately. So, you know, that's why it's currently not working. Nitpicks are the best way to improve from that way. I'd rather have someone nitpick my work than just say good job, no comment. Yeah, fair enough. In that case, alright, be prepared for what I have to say next. I would love to help you, however, I am a guy, Lemma. Oh, right, okay, fair enough. I didn't know by the profile picture. Just so small. And June, yeah. But hey, I have a bunch of male characters as well, so, you know, maybe would fit as well, so I don't know. I do have a female voice acting. I do have female voice acting friends. Bingo. There we go. Alright. Once that gets going again, I'll be sure to hit you up. Yeah, got pissed at HW when 8th edition came out. It ruins Guitari on rules, left them unplayable. I've heard that for a lot of factions. Yeah. I've heard that just for a lot of factions. But again, to close this off, I think this miniature looks very good. I think the best thing you can do is just keep painting. I personally take all of my paints straight from the pot and have my brush clean. Like, basically, I basically do this, right? So, paint. So here, for example, with this pot. Yeah, bingo. Then I moisten up my brush, excess water off, dip it in paint from the pot, dip. And once the paint is like not thick enough anymore or too little, I immediately clean the brush and then get more paint. So I never have old paint too often on my brush. And of course, never dip in your brush, you know, to the ferrule, which is the metal point. Yeah, try to keep the paint out of that. That'll prolong the lifespan of your brush tenfold. That's all I have to say so far. Absolutely best advice is just to keep painting. Oh yeah, definitely. A lot of stuff will come to you. And again, for more like in-depth advice, and if you want, you know, have a look at my videos on my channel. I think they're pretty good as well, if I say so myself. That's why I don't play their live-supported games anymore. I just play the board games and specialist games. They take the hands off of those. Oh yeah, I get that as well. Alright, and you have sent me something on Instagram, by the way. You need to change water? Nah, that's still fine. I only change water after I use like metal paints, because the metallic like glitter mixes with the other paints, and that ruins the miniature. Shouldn't do that. I got you, brother. I'm a guy who knows a guy who's pretty much everything. Bingo, nice. I used the wet palette. I can go take some pictures from all the stuff I've used if you'd like to have a full look at what I'm working with. Yeah, sure. Send it in. I might not do live commentary on that. I'd rather probably write you an email to, get back to painting. But, sure do. Maybe I can help you with something. And if I don't, maybe I have a good video recommendation of what I used to watch when I started out. That helped me. Alright, Matt from Pressburg, flexing again. Hang on. Can I download this? Oh, I can. Bingo. Very different miniatures. You never. Ooh, what? Okay. Matt has some treats for us. Holy shit. There we go. First up. Nice. Oops, sorry. Nice vampire lady. That was a complete accident. I'm sorry. A nice vampire. Not Warhammer related at all. Is that like from Etsy or something? Where is this miniature from? Nice paint. Love the way the blue fades into the red here on the bottom. I used to do that for a commission once and the guy didn't like it. So I had to fucking do it up. Bruh. Lol, you're good. My brother helps with a lot of it too, so and has chance to recommend me all the time. I'll just keep up the painting. Oh yeah, definitely do. Again, I once did that. I once had a guy come in who just painted his first miniature as well, and I said the same to him as well. Like, hey man, just if you want to have more in depth, like I'm up for it. It's not a hassle for me at all. Just keep the stream flowing. I might not do that right now though. Also, because English isn't my first language, I like to think about stuff that I write a lot to, word it the right way that I want it to sound. So, that's also the reason why it sometimes takes so long to answer comments, for which I'm very sorry. Try to refocus the camera. Actually, I'm doing pretty much the best I can. It's just the way that the light works. Hang on, I don't even need the light, do I? No. Okay, this helps. There we go. Now some dude on my mini factory. Oh, right, okay. Pretty good. And then we've got some ogres. Nice. Let me make it a little bit brighter. I think because the pictures are so displayed this big, it's pixelated by nature. Because if I zoom in, it's rather pixelated. I don't recognize these ogres as well. These Warhammer ogres? I don't know. I'm not that familiar with the Warhammer roster, but they do look like... No, okay, never mind. Hell yeah. That's a great banner. The fleeing civilian? Hell yeah. Iron Guts, of course. Now I recognize them. Love the banner. That's great. Of course, I don't want to interrupt what you got going on. I totally understand. I have a good friend from Iceland, and he takes time with English in a similar way. Alright, bingo. So understanding. Such a great community. Alright, and now, guys, for the treat. Holy shit. That's a Morven Val if I've ever seen one. Wow. Love it. Especially, I'm a big fan of these knightly colored, of a knightly colored coat of arms. That's amazing, especially the checkerboard of course goes hard as hell. But even just the stripes makes this miniature look so much cooler than the official Games Workshop color scheme. And everybody seems to agree. Let's go. Is this AOS? No, that's 40k. That's 40k. That's a Sister of Battle. Morven Val, I think her name is. Amazing. All the base work as well. Damn. Very aesthetically pleasing. My god, my goodness. Also the details up until the pupils in her eyes. Very nice. Very big fan of the color scheme. It's amazing how much you can, get out of these models if you just paint them a little bit more creatively than Games Workshop lets on. Very good job on that. It took about 40 hours of my life. Oh yeah. No, I get that. I get that. I haven't learned enough about the Sisters of Battle yet, I suppose. Gotta look that up more. Oh yeah, definitely do. I recommend, probably your brother has too, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I recommend Bricky here on YouTube. He has like a couple of quite memey, of course. Like it's not Lewitton, the Lewitton way of covering lore, but you know, it's simple enough to understand and great for newcomers. So yeah, Bricky's our godfather. Oh yeah. I listened to his podcast even. Oh wow, okay, then you're much more of a fan than I am. I only watched like his Warhammer videos. He said he also has a Warhammer videos on Black Templars. I haven't found it yet. He said, oh yeah, I got it in the linked in the description of the video you're currently watching. And I looked in the description and there was nothing. Nothing! I have full armies of Sisters Battle in worst paint, white armor. Send a picture. Ooh. Alright. I think Sisters of Battle and white armor go kinda hard as well. Wouldn't go so far as to say that they look better than they do in black armor though. Of course, no, I get why they paint them so dark. Where are you getting pics sent? I wanna send a pic of my last Blood Bowl team. Adeptus Ridiculous is a great podcast, lol. I haven't seen Adeptus Ridiculous yet. Not really. I'm not that, like, I feel like that would be too much of Warhammer meme, I don't know. The thing is, when I started this channel, I consumed nothing but Warhammer content for like 1.5 years. And then I got sick of it. After that, I only watched like animal and nature documentaries. Especially while painting. It's just him spewing lore to a guy who doesn't know like anything. Nice. It's like when my girlfriend asks me about Warhammer, great. It sounds very relatable. Where are you getting pics sent? I'm getting pics sent on my email address. I won't type it in chat because I don't know why, but that feels kinda unresponsible. But if you click on my channel on YouTube and go into the channel description or about section, I don't actually know how it's called in English, then you will find my email address there. And there you can send in some pictures. Or of course via Instagram if you have. Bro, I wish my girlfriend asked me about Warhammer, Lamau. Yeah, it's kind of suspicious always, because she gets very interested in Warhammer right around like Christmas and my birthday, right? So that's some interesting timing every time. So yeah. But it's very lovely. I love you too. Alright, next time to email. I wish I had a girl. Well, it is a very small demographic of people who paint miniatures and have girlfriends. It's a rough world. It's a rough world out there. Ooh, what? Are you kidding me? Yo, it glows in the dark. This miniature glows in the dark. That looks sick, bro. Hang on. I'll pull up the pictures. I can't send you images on your Instagram account. Blocked? It's blocked? Oh. You have to accept your friend request. Some people I need to accept their friend request first. I don't know why. Not everybody has to do that. Huh. Hang on, let me... I'll do that in a second. Whoa! It glows in the dark. So this is black light, right? So it isn't like glowing on its own, right? And yeah, that's such a cool effect. So unnecessary on the one hand, because how often is this miniature going to be looked at in UV light? Oh yeah, right. But you know, so cool that you did it anyway. What is the biggest mini you've painted so far? Asks Legionary Decanus. Let me look into... Thankfully, I have my shelf right about there. I think Lauka Vai is a good start. The Mother of Nightmares. I had to. Yeah, I mean, it looks great under UV light, so, you know. You're definitely getting your right place here. Again, Lauka Vai, the Mother of Nightmares from AOS. I kinda did paint a dragon, but not really. Lady Olinda from the Nighthaunt as well. But I think it's just about in that ballpark. I do have a knight that I would really like to paint, and like a Malkador tank and stuff like that. But I haven't really gotten to paint that yet. I did, like, if you remember my October video from like a year or two ago, that miniature there is probably my biggest miniature, but only because I did so much custom building on it, right? So the entire stage that I built for the Orc Rocker, or the Goth Rocker. So yeah, build. Oh, what? Is it fluorescent paint? What brand? And then been a lot of thefts these last years. Where's that coming from? Oh, it's a good way of identifying your models if stolen. Oh, right, that's what it's referring to. Alright. I mean, fair enough. Yeah, sure. It might be a good way for me to do signatures on the miniatures that I sell. Huh. But yeah, I think the biggest miniature that I paint is probably Laukavai, which is not big at all. Definitely need to get my game up. Vallejo UV paint. Interesting. And then of course we got another pic of his Sisters of Battle. They look great. They look great. Very nice. Love the blue coloring. Yeah. A lot of them without helmets, and the helmets, like, the heads do, like, are these kit bashed? Are these, like, 3D printed thingies? Or, like, something that you would get off, like, Bitsword or something? And speaking of that, what weapon is over here? Oh, that's a... okay. I thought that was, like, a weird ray weapon, but no, it's a red bolter, and then there's, like, a lantern or something. That makes sense. Heads up 3D prints? Bingo. They look like Saiyajin battle armor. Oh yeah, I get what you mean. Sisters of Battle are basically Games Workshop's answer to why are there no female Space Marines in Warhammer. And I like the way that, you know, they did this. Of course, now Games Workshop is trying to, you know, force their way into that as well. But I like, you know, I like having the Sisters of Battle as like their own entity. I think that makes the whole thing a lot more... what's the right word? Proper, you know? Sisters of Battle are indeed dope enough. Oh, Elio says hi, guys. Hey! Okay, let there be light. There was light. The wash is almost dry. But I'll keep painting the cape for just a second. I kind of love that they're just human women that are super badasses. They don't even need to be genetically engineered. No, and that's what I like as well. And I like the different take that they have as well. You know, Space Marines are like the chapters are very different, but the Sisters of Battle have all like this like incredibly religious dogma. And again, yeah, as you said, they're kind of like Batman in a way, and that they are just, you know, humans in just better armor with like their own skills taken, like human skills taken to the next level instead of being genetically modified. So yeah, there's a lot going on for them. There's a lot going for them. And I think it's also a better solution. I think making female Space Marines, especially at this point, would just feel so cheap, like a cheap cop out, if you'd ask me. Oh yeah, again, I've completely forgot Durin. Sorry, I'll accept your friend request in a second. If that really is the hurdle for you. Very rough and dirty. But it'll look better. It'll look better in the third coat. If we keep telling ourselves that, it will become reality. And that's, by the way, that is the Rootmire Creed Warrior. There is indeed still a slight gloss to him, but it is still at an acceptable level. And the shadows and the dynamic that we got from that, I think is worth the trade-off. Hell yeah. We didn't overdo it this time. Looks great. Especially like, huh. Maybe I should try to do a speed painting recipe for these guys after all. Hang on. I'll write that idea down. Damn, if I listen to myself, I'm such a good person to talk to. Iron oil and then of course speed paint? Question mark? But now we go into more depth. Oh yeah, Duran, hang on. Before I forget him. Write it into the book! No. I'll write it into my notes. Only grudges are going to the book. Well. Alright. Requests! I got one request. There we go. Oh, that's Isel, that's not Duran, right? Hang on, but didn't Duran try that? Oh, hold. Didn't Duran try via Instagram as well? Fucked. Ah, interesting. Well, I killed Smircher. Yes, to main folder. You're saving up for a POV, you're saving up for a 3D printer, but Orc Boys and Gretchen has cheap price. Ooh, really? Did they right now? Oh, Isel has his own Instagram page as well. Well, let me have a look at you. Holy shit, okay. That's quite a lot. Starting off with, what's his face again? Caldo Drago, I think? Isn't that Caldo Drago? Looks great under UV light. Sweet paint job. Now, no, the only thing I need you to tell me is that this is actually not the UV light, but this is just the way that the miniature is painted and you're just a god in non-metallic metal and OSL lighting. Castellan Crow? Oh yeah, Castellan Crow, right. There are only so many Grey Knights, but I do forget them sometimes. UV light? Alright, got it. I mean, you know, it would have been my first guess, right? But yeah, sweet. Also, very befitting a Grey Knight. Very nice. Very sweet. And great stuff in your Instagram account. Left you a sub, but that might not be worth much because I'm not that much on Instagram. Alright, have to go. See you all next time. Alright, Matt. See you next time. Thanks for the pictures you sent in. Big treat. Okay. And that's it for pictures. Now the miniature is dry, now the paint is dry, now we can get back to work. Alright. All the time looking at what you guys are doing, the incredible work you guys do. While meanwhile, leaving up my own miniatures high and dry. Okay. What I want to do next is painting his leaves. So I tried it with blue once before. Did I destroy the order in which I put these paints? It's kind of important how they are arranged. Hang on. Okay, those are the details. Those are the skin color. This is the skin color. And that's the skin color. That's the details. So that's the green stuff. Green stuff, lol. And that's the horns. Yes. Alright. Now that everything is sorted out. What was I saying again? Oh yeah, we painted these leaves on his shoulder, or rather the shoulders of the other guys, in yellow and blue so far. But what I want to try out next would be like, what if they're just straight up green? What if it's just a normal green color? How about that? Because The blue I do kind of like, although it is kind of swallowed up by the rest of the miniature. By the rest of the miniature, how it looks. And, yeah. Legionary the Canis says, well, I gotta bounce. It's getting a bit late. Alright, thank you, man. Thanks for sticking around all this time. Hope you're having a great evening. And hopefully, I'll see you again this Saturday, when we'll discuss the miniature of the decade together with my girlfriend and Deinrich. Yeah, hope to see you then. And until then, have a great evening. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also, I hope. Which color should I use? Do you? No. No. I'll actually do use arsenic green. Whatever. Can't stop me. There we go. Low2 says, Nurgle being all about rot decay renewal, some vibrantly live leaves would be a cool contrast. Ooh. That's, yeah. Definitely works as like a concept. So far I went with the dead leaves and with some like decaying leaves. I guess the fresh leaves are actually still the only ones left. You're right. Have the voting poll again? Oh yeah, definitely. I will let you guys help to decide on the proper tier for the miniatures as well. Still Harbinger of Decay is best? Oh yeah. The Harbinger of Decay is definitely one of the best Age of Sigmar models. Though again, I'm fairly certain that he or some version of him already existed back in the Warhammer Fantasy days. So, you know, when trying to find the best Age of Sigmar model, would be kinda the wrong choice. You go with the miniature that already had its prime time in Age of Sigmar, right? Why am I seeing that wrong? But yeah, no, you guys will be able to vote in the stream as well. And I will try to make it also a little bit more visually appealing. I'll dust off my old suit again for the occasion. Because I didn't think that so many people would watch it. Holy shit, the VOD is at like what? Almost 400 views? For a VOD? From 30 views? That's like... That's a crazy... That's literally 10x. But yeah. I need to log in for that. And there we go. The moss on his shoulder as well. And I think actually, so the reason why I'm pretty sure that Games Workshop painted the leaves green on these guys as well. But as the moss, like a nice vibrant green. The reason I didn't want to do that is because I want to be quirky and new and innovative. And yeah, turns out Games Workshop actually does know what they're doing. Shit. At least the painters are. And the metal is. The old Harbinger of Decay was kinda meh. Really? I remember him being really cool. Dead golden or orange leaves would have been a nice touch. That's the thing, I kinda did that. Already. Here we go. On this guy. I mean, of course, you know, it looks kinda half-assed, not gonna lie, now that I look at it again. But, you know, in concept it still is there. Paint them autumn? Really? Sure? I think I can go over, like, once this guy is completely done, I'll go over this guy again. Like, in terms of the leaves and the moss. And then we'll see what looks better. Yep. So. There we go. What next? Actually does look kind of finished, doesn't he? I think we can brighten up the skin again, though. And maybe I'm hesitating to give his robe more contrast. That being said, I do want to make it darker. So I'm gonna take some Caliban green and some dryad bark to mix up a really dark green to intensify the shadows again. You could have the leaves in different stages of their life cycle from mini to mini. That's a big play on Nurgle themes. I mean, that's an idea as well. I mean, I kind of do have now that I have already 3 miniatures with different like leaves on them. BRB, coffee. All right, see you soon. So I guess I kind of did that already unintentionally. But yeah, sure. Oh yeah, we wanted to give this guy frostbite as well. Who again asked for that? Wasn't it? It was Tricky, I think. He asked for that. Yeah, we'll do that as well. Hello. So, mixed up a very dark green now. And let's see if we can do something about those shadows. What is... This color needs to go there. That color is over there. Oh. I need to make sure to not mix up my colors again. Alright. For example, where do we need more shade? Right here. In this fold specifically. Nice. Does that work? I think that kind of works. Yeah, it does kind of work. I'm not feeling well, my dear. Alright. But yeah, for everybody who's just joining the stream, my girlfriend and I are suspecting that we're currently getting sick. That's also why my voice is kinda a lot raspier and lower than usual. Yeah, I really do hope that Saturday stream will still be on. And of course that we still, you know, stay healthy in general. Being sick for any reason is bad. But I don't need you guys. 1949. But I'm actually, you know, I'm making very good progress. I don't think that I'll... Right. Right. Slow 2x2 says zinc and vitamin C can help. I mean, that's a good call. That definitely always helps. We have specifically for like these smaller illnesses, we have like a whole vitamin package that we just chug once in the morning. Yeah, I mean, what else would you go? Okay, we drank it, right? Which, you know, always works. Not always, but like helps mitigate. And
there's vitamin C.
Yeah. Yeah. But thank you. It is a good call. I think the back looks great. The front looks ass. And I think it is once again because I overdid it with the contrast. So I think if we glaze over this guy right here, does that make a difference? I actually didn't see. Maybe more paint on my brush. We just glaze this down a bit, and maybe this guy as well. I think it'll look better once it's dry. Maybe that as well. Now I'm in the flow. Now I'm glazing down everything. All right. I think this helps. What definitely happens a lot of the times is, with me, especially when the miniature has so many like nice options for highlights to be shown, is that I overdo it on the contrast, which makes the whole silhouette a lot more messy. For no reason. And of course, pulls down the overall quality of the paint job. Isn't great. But yeah, damn. Caliban green with Dryad bark makes for a great base coat for these guys. Nice. Alright. Hang on. I gotta write that down. Dryad bark. And Caliban green. Caliban green glaze / base coat. I mean, it's too late for a base coat now because I have already base coated everything. Shit. Ah, well. Okay. Anyways. I think breaking down the shape too much usually takes away from the miniature. That's why I only use hard shadows and washes in the recesses between the different elements. Like when the cloak meets the skin or the hand meets the weapon. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, definitely. I mean, you can see it in the coat as well. Like, again, the front is just such a mess of light and shadows. I definitely overdid it here. I actually think I can go as far as to glaze down this bit right here as well. Like, all of this stuff doesn't need to be this bright. Actually need more paint. Not exactly glazing here, but you know. Yeah. You gotta, you know, you gotta be careful to keep the shape of especially these more chaotic miniatures. And I think that's why the back looks so much better as well. Because all of his lower half is like a lot like flat. Way more flatter than the front. And that's why we could paint it a lot darker. Which makes the top stand out all the more. You know, it's a nice contrast that the miniature in itself has from the sculpt itself. And yeah. And that's why the front doesn't look so good. Of course now the paint reflects as well and everything, so once it's dry, maybe it'll look better. Now I actually gotta look up some references for Frostbite. Because I think it was Tricky who requested the Frostbite. I think it is a nice idea. And although I have a rough image in my mind when I think of Frostbite, I still want to make sure that it is proper. Those images are way too tame. Bingo! Let's go! A Frostbite illustration. Okay, so it really is just that. Alright. That reminds me, I need some Carabao Crimson. Love you too. And you guys too. But her the most. I needed to say that. If this is my last stream, you know what it was. No. Once again. It's black ends for members and a purple transition toward warmer skin, basically. What? It's black ends for members and purple transition towards the warmer skin, basically. Yeah. Thanks, I love you too, I guess, says Duran. No, not at all. My girlfriend asks if she's distracting me. Not the case. That we can color this flesh with just a little bit of red wash. I love Karabog Crimson. This is a very old pot as well, though, so maybe they changed the recipe as well. Make it look as bad as the current Nuln Oil. Anything else where you roughened up your skin, buddy? No? Okay. In that case, let's dull it down. Then we do a red glade. Slow2x2 says, I find myself getting lost in highlights and shading all the small details which comes out like you said. I have to make myself do more general highlights and shading without worrying about small parts. Yes. Sometimes what can help there is a zenithal highlight, which you can either achieve via dry brushing or spray painting, you know, the miniature from the get-go. If that's not an option, yeah, just remember what you basically wrote here. Because it's definitely something that I do kinda, like, struggle and forget all the time as well. The nice red glaze, like some of the more exposed parts of his body, like kneecaps, ankles, you know, everything that could possibly be hurt. Of course, the feet as well. Not like I wouldn't do the toes necessarily, usually. But hence we're going for a little bit of a frostbite look. This is basically the first stage. Fingers as well. Like just the fingertips. Doesn't make that much of a difference though. And the elbows. Right. Whoop. Whoop, whoop, whoop. The thing is, kinda, if you want to have a more egotistical look at all of this, if the back of the miniature looks good, then it is actually you who profits from that, because it is not your, like, you are looking at the back of your miniatures most of the time anyways on the tabletop, because you are facing your enemy who stands in front of you. So he gets lost in all the messy details, and you can admire the serenity of a nice back. Shadow Sword fully dry brushed now. It looks so much better, says Pansy Kitsune. I also magnetized the sponson guns, and the top part is still removable because I don't want things to bend if I transport them or someone. Yeah, that sounds great. Did you do all of that? Like all of the magnetization and everything? Or just the dry brush? Just the dry brush. Okay. Frostbite. Wait, frostbite. I think I need some Sirius purple. Sirius purple, or as I say in German, Xerois. Wanna dilute that with water as well. What I'm basically doing is more like washing these parts than actually... no. Barakna Burgundy. Yeah. Actually, this guy is so far my favorite Rootmire Creed model. Like, the first one is too cold. I like the warmer approach a lot more, like in the end, than the colder one. And the second one is a little bit too messy to my liking. Although the style is nice, it's not quite my style, if that makes sense. Toes. Feet. For free. There we go. Really just slap that on there. Maybe a little bit too thick. As with everything in life, a little bit is nice. Too thick is a problem. Go. Have some of that. Oh, sorry. Some of that excess away from a dry brush. Not with a dry brush, but a dry brush. And the same for the left side, the right side? Well. I think frostbite only really affects the, like, utmost extremities. I don't think, for example, I don't think it would be the entire soul that I had to paint here, only the, like, toes and stuff. And I do only the toes because I think, like, in the marsh, like, getting stuff like trench foot is, you know, a lot more common than actually freezing your fingers off. So I'm actually giving him the benefit of the doubt here. A lot of Games Workshop, like Warhammer Vampires, have this kind of painting as well. Like this kind of effect on their feet. Although I'm fairly certain that it's not supposed to be frostbite. Who knows for sure? Already starting to ramble again. We have it just past 8 o'clock and the miniature is just about done. That color is nice, really complements the green. Oh yeah, I think so too. I think so too. I think on its own, I don't know. So it definitely needs, but I think you need to go darker towards the tip. Yes, that's what I will do right now. I'll take some straight up black to go in there on the tips. Be too dark. I'll just apply a bit of color there. Then I'll fade it in because the colors are still wet. Should blend together rather nicely. Yeah, that's what we want. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Try this on this side as well. That's too wet. Hang on. What was that? It sounded like a string instrument, and I was like, what string instrument do we have here? Like, didn't sound like my violin. Hell yeah. Okay, the big toe doesn't want to play along. Super nice is Durin. Bingo. Called him Durin. Because of Durin Björnsson. But no, Durin. Confusing. Alright. Bingo. Haha. A great model. I really like him. Alright. This guy is the perfect stock for me to draw a reference and inspiration from when I will paint the rest of the Rootmire Creed. Of course, this has been one of the easier models. As it is typical for Warcry, you know, we are dealing with a lot of singular characters, like this brute barbarian here, who has, of course, a lot more detail and different stuff to offer than that guy. And of course, the commander as well. Insanely strong guy. So my Rootmire Creed really bashed the shit out of Theinrich's what are they called again? Lumineth. So yeah, although Theinrich could do, like, he pulled off some insane stunts as well. So yeah, Warcry is a lot of fun. Highly recommended. And for you, June, for example, if you want to get into the game as quick as possible, I'd recommend picking up Kill Team for 40k. Because especially the Tau have gotten, I think, like one extra kill team. Maybe not right now, but it will be released very soon with stealth suits only. And if you want to have a very fun kill team, in my opinion, are the Vespid, which are also a Tau faction. So yeah, definitely check that out if you want to get into the game as quickly as possible and paint some miniatures that are a little bit more, you know, creative for 40k. So yeah, highly recommend that. Seeing you paint Warcry made me want to pick up my Vulcan Flameseekers to paint. That game has such cool minis. Your team is amazing, my favorite way of enjoying the 40k universe. Definitely getting the new set for both Space Wolves and Tau. They look great, definitely, don't get me wrong. I love this. Like, the Space Wolves and Phobos armor go so hard. That's why I also have, like, Morkai's Hunters. The only thing keeping me from getting that kill team, although it would be perfect for me. Like, I love the composition of the different teams. It's just not, like, you know, what's it called? The terrain is just meh. Unfortunately, it's Tomb King's boarding action again. Not a big fan of that, to be sure. The new Army of Darkness board game and 40 miniatures box set on 31st of October for Halloween. New Army of Darkness board game. Army of Darkness? What are you referencing? 40 miniature box set? It sounds like Curse City almost, but you don't mean Darkwater, do you? Or is it a complete... Oh, the Army of Darkness! Hang on, we talked about that in the last stream, didn't we? The original... Yeah, we talked before on the stream. Yes. From the Evil Dead films. Bingo. Really? They release on the 31st of October. Cool. Hey, great way to do it. Yeah. I think this stream has been a complete and utter success. We painted this entire miniature today in around... How long have I been streaming? 2.5 hours. Which, you know, could have been 1.5 hour, but of course I wanted to talk to you guys. I mean, what's the point of these streams if I don't, you know, talk to my audience? Fuck. And, yeah, we still got a lot of stuff done. So, you can definitely be happy with us. But I think this is a good place to end it. Although, you know, because I don't have any more miniatures, right? So the board game is 40 bucks? Oh, okay, you have to buy that separately then. Just the miniatures for £50 and the board game for 40. Unfortunately, like, I feel like with tax and toll and everything, that'll be closer to like 70 to 80 bucks with currency exchange, like in euros. So, too crazy for an impulse buy. Go for it, Painting says hello again. Wow, 3 times chat at this stream. What's going on? What's going on today? But you know what I'll do? I haven't had a look at the Army of Darkness box set. Oh, it comes with the cardboard game. That makes sense. I haven't had a look at the miniatures that you recommended to me, the board game. So I will have a look right now. Yes. Alright. It's sold all over, so maybe just normal price for you, as it's not on GW. I mean, that's true. Oh, it's sold all... Oh, so that's what you mean. Alright. I don't know why, I just imagine every single thing to come straight from... Every board game to come from the UK. Army of Darkness. Game. Board game. No. Board game. Board game. Kickstarter. Board game. Board game. Pictures. I learn only by pictures. Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay. Is this the correct one? Army of Darkness? Oh yeah, it's sold on Fantasy Vault. Hang on. Check that out. Oh, $53.99. Alright, that's a lot cheaper than I thought. GW has unfortunately bred that into the hobbyists. Lol. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, again, that's what I said, right? I literally told you guys what other competition is there to Games Workshop. Because I literally did not know. Of course I know competitors, but like, can they really compete? You know, that's what I mean. Don't need to see that much over the green screen. Hello, my hair looks perfect today. No reason to display the green screen so much. There we go. That looks interesting indeed. Oh, okay. Hang on. Can I see only the miniatures? Miniatures pack. So that's the miniature box, only with 40 minis. I mean, only? That's quite impressive. The miniatures are quite quite good as well. Hang on. That's pretty dope. Pretty good miniatures. But is it only like dark fantasy, zombie, something like vampires and stuff? Oh, there we go. Oh no, there's more. Ash and Evil Ash. Okay. Evil Shyla. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. I think these miniatures are not quite my forte. What did you say again? Where's it from? Evil Dead films. Okay, look that up on stream without risking anything. Evil Dead Army of Darkness. Alright, okay, I will not show that on stream. Just to be safe, because I don't know how this works, right? Yeah, that's Ash's wife. She gets killed and Evil Ash brings her back from the dead lord. Interesting. Sounds cool, not gonna lie, but... Again, I think that's not... Oh, hell yeah. What? Hang on. This is one of the coolest pictures I've seen today. Let's go, hang on. I can even say all week because it's only Tuesday. There we go. Hang on, I need to adjust. Yeah! That's a cool ass picture, not gonna lie. Hell yeah, this makes me patriotic. Glory, gory, hallelujah. Damn, maybe I gotta check those out after all. There's a third. There's 3 old Evil Dead movies, and a new one that came out in 2013, which was quite good. Oh, really? Damn. Oh, that's the TV series. Oh, that makes sense. This looks hella cool, though. Not gonna lie. Is that on his... Is that a turtle? Is that a turtle? Huh. Anyways. This looks cool for like a boys' night or something. Just like, I don't know. Maybe that's something to check out. But usually not really my forte. Especially not the miniatures. Like, all of that. Like, just having one range of miniatures. Like, mostly undead, vampire stuff. Not too much variety, but I'll have a closer look at the miniatures and see if maybe there's something for me. Maybe like a singular guy to paint on here, that would be fun. Alright, guys, we've been streaming for roughly 3 hours, which is light work. And we did quite a lot, but I think I'm out of topics to talk about, I'm out of minis to paint, so I won't waste your time anymore. Thank you guys so much for checking in. Love to stream for you. And yeah, I'll see you guys, hopefully on Saturday. If not, I'll be sure to let you know if I think that enough people have seen the community post. So far, I think it's gotten like 3 likes, so I don't expect that many people have seen it. And yeah, the game is based on the big last battle in the game. It's a survival game, and hunt Ash, but the hordes get bigger. Oh, so it's like a wave game, wave survival game. Alright. That makes sense. Sounds cool. I mean, hey, Games Workshop just, I think, incorporated some sort of wave horde mode into their recent kill team as well. So... sure. Why not? Seems cool. But yeah, okay. You probably realize it yourself. I'm kind of not necessarily out of steam, but just out of stuff to talk about. So, again, not trying to waste any more of your time. Thank you guys so much for checking in. I'll see you in the next one. It was a great stream. And if we don't see each other on Saturday, I hope I'll be live on next Tuesday. Again, 17:30. and then we'll paint something other cool miniature. Good night, get better soon. Thank you. Bye bye. Even musical Untermalung here, nice. You have to work and find Ash at the same time survive, so it takes you long, so how to find finish if you're injured. So that's funny. That sounds like a good game. Sounds like a good concept. Maybe I could paint, maybe I could get into the game, but like with Warhammer miniatures. I'll think about that. Maybe there's like a review somewhere where I can read about it. Alright, bye now. Goodbye. Good night.